This is the new exhaust I designed for this 1997 Ford Thunderbird. Now this body style went from 92 to 97. This one has the 3.8 V6, and I've also done my intake mod to it. I basically took the intake box, and where the small air hole used to be, I just cut around the box so it's breathing direct filter. You can hear it. And normally the airbox breathes out of a tiny little hole on the side. Well, I cut around the dirty side of the airbox to where it's breathing out of the whole filter, not just the hole. And it's kind of a sleeper mod. You can't see it. You know, it looks just like a normal stock air cleaner until you flip it over and see what I did. Let's see if I can do a little bit of that. Like that. This. See? From the factory, it breathes just out of a hole, but I got it to breathe out of the entire. I just took the bottom part of the airbox off. See the airbox? And I made a precise cut all around it, so it's breathing out of the entire filter, not just the one little hole. Now it's got that hole to breathe out of, but it also has everything around it too, so the filter gets all the way around air to breathe from. That's a real good thing. Put the filter back in here. There you have it. Budget intake and exhaust on a 92 through 97 Ford Thunderbird. Now the Mustangs also had this engine too, so you should be able to do the same thing to the Mustang 3.8 and give it a little more performance, as well as fuel economy and a lot more low-end torque. That's the biggest difference you get, fuel economy and low-end torque. Through this video I'll be showing you pictures of the exhaust system that I did. I'll show you pictures of the old stock exhausts, which were really choking and restrictive and had way too many bends and restrictive, very restrictive bends, resonators, and it's bad enough you already got two cats, one per bank. Bank 1 and bank 2 of the V6 each have their own cat, but then they put another cat after the rear O2 sensor. Now, the front O2 sensors handle your fuel air mixture, your oxygen sensors, and control your fuel injection and send signals to the PCM. They had sensors in back of the catalytic converter, just tell you if your catalytic converters are working or not. Well, after those sensors, it shouldn't matter. Well, Ford decided to put an extra giant ugly cat back there. And it has no sensor behind it, so it's a useless extra cat. Look at that big ugly thing. and it's very restrictive, and then they threw an ugly resonator behind it. Talk about a choker. So this one's still legal. Still a perfectly legal exhaust system. It just goes from the 2 headers, then to the 2 catalytic converters, then after the catalytic converter rear sensors, bank 1 and bank 2, it goes to 2 pipes, then joins in a Y pipe to 1 3-inch pipe all the way back to the tip. So it's pretty much 2 2.25 coming from the engine to a 2.5-inch Y pipe. Then at the end of the Y pipe it goes 3 inches, and then a nice 3-inch straight pipe all the way back to the tip right here. So that's as free flow as an exhaust as you can get. And wow, does it sound good. Not to mention fuel economy, lots of low end torque, and a little bit of power increase. Just the right amount of sound. Not loud and obnoxious, but low and powerful. So, just another idea I'm sharing about 92 to 97 Ford Thunderbirds with the 3.8 V6. You could also do it with the V8 one, I'm sure. But the V8 ones have 2 exhaust pipes coming out the back, so you just be doing an extra pipe instead of 1, you do 2. I didn't see a need to go duals out the back of this because the design I did here was plenty free flow. Because it comes from the header down there, and it goes to 2.25, goes to the catalytic converter, out of the catalytic converter 2.25, and 2 2.25s go into the Y pipe, which is 2.5. And if you want to see what the Y pipe part number is, here's the box it came from. I bought this Y pipe at Summit Racing, and here's the Y pipe and the part number. That's the Y pipe I used to come from the engine. 2 3-cylinder headers go to the 2 3-cylinder headers go to the 2 inlets on this Y pipe, and then it's 3 inches out of the back of the Y pipe and goes straight all the way back to this style of muffler right here. Here's the part number of this muffler. A nice chambered muffler you can buy at Summit Racing. Very nice. Very nice exhaust. 3 in, 3 out. Talk about a nice flowing exhaust. And then I finished it off with a nice exhaust tip from Summit Racing as well. Yeah, they don't have the part number on this, but it's basically a 3-inch exhaust tip, which you can get. So there you have it. Some great mods you can do to a 92 through 97 Ford Thunderbird. Highly recommended if you have the Thunderbird Super Coupe with the supercharger. Imagine how this would sound with the supercharger whine. Have that go with the supercharger whine. And there's some readings I'm getting from the SCT tuner. Battery voltage, coolant temperature, intake temperature, which is pretty much what it is outside right now. A couple degrees hotter. RPMs. Wow, short and long term. Short term, bank 1 and bank 2. Short term, bank 1 and bank 2. Oxygen sensor readings, MAF counts, and transmission temperature. Well, that's about it for today. And how you can make a nice free flow exhaust. Just go to a local muffler shop that's very good with a tube bender, and they have the exhaust bending equipment and really good welder, and you could have this exhaust on your Thunderbird or Mustang or whichever, and give your V6 Mustang a little bit more power than it allowed from the factory, which the intake and exhaust from the factory are pretty lame, especially the exhaust. The exhaust is very restrictive from the factory, and this exhaust system I made is so much better. Well, you guys have a great day and mad boosting.